It's Dr. Tracy Bennett from Get Kids Internet Safe, and today is week 8 for your parent video. So we've been working on starting to build your screen safety toolkit for filtering, monitoring, and parental management. And we're trying to do it 1 week at a time so it's not overwhelming doing it all at once. And that way you can build up your custom toolkit and know you're using every tool out there to its optimum effect. So today we're going to talk about setting parental controls on child devices. And I have to tell you, when I started GKIS in 2014, these options were not available to us, but now they are. Apple and Google have accommodated us. So I'm going to go over a couple things they have to offer. It'll be a quick parent video. My objective today is to motivate you to get on each child device and set the parental controls for that device. That's your homework. So I'm going to keep the video short so you have the time to go to each device setting parental controls. All right. So this is your handout for this week, week 8, of setting parental controls on child devices. Let me go through it very quickly. So first I'm saying thanks to parent and child advocacy groups, Apple and Google now offer awesome, easy to use parental controls on their devices. Along with setting up child safety browsers, which you did last week, this week you're going to set up parental controls on your child's handheld device. So if you have an iPhone, for Apple families using iOS, or Apple devices like computers and tablets, iPads, you're going to go to the Apple families link. Instead of recreating the wheel, I just gave you links and a quick idea of what's available now because it changes all the time. So first of all, I encourage you to help with your onboard. Don't hesitate to call Apple support. It's a free service. You have to have your product serial numbers ready. But I have spent hours being handheld through programming all our devices from Apple representatives. They're knowledgeable, they're helpful, and why do it by yourself when you have experts at your ready? Some of the free tools Apple uses is family sharing. They say make it easy for you and 5 family members to share iTunes, Apple Books, and App Store purchases, an Apple Music family plan, and an iCloud storage plan. Now, I just took screen time off my 17-year-old's phone for the first time. And it didn't even occur to me I would have done it last year, but he never complained about it or asked for it. But he was telling me the other day that when we were at a restaurant, he couldn't pull up the menu because it needed to be approved by me when he snapped the little code. And I was like, oh, I can take that off for you. And at the table, I pulled up my phone, and within 2 minutes, he was off of everything because I think at 17, he's ready to go it alone and test things out with me at home. Keeping an eye on things, but I don't think I need backdoor access to his devices. Now, if you have teenagers, you may feel differently than I do. Every kid is different. Every family is different. Okay, so Apple has family sharing. They also have ask and buy features, which makes you approve app selection. And you can even turn off their Safari web browser. It's on by default for anyone under the age of 13, and you can enable it for any family member under 18. So I used Ask and Buy, and I thought that was really helpful. The only problem is if your kids need to download an app at school and they need it right now, it may take you a minute to see the approval request. That's the downside, but I never found that to be much of a problem, and my kids really didn't complain about it. So it couldn't have been much of a problem to them because believe me, I've taught them to speak up and I would have heard. Now, screen time is cool because it allows you to track notifications and time spent on apps and activities. And that's where you can set direct limits on apps, categories, and time spent. So downtime shuts down some activities, but not others. And content and privacy restrictions also offer monitoring options for free. So you can visit the kids section in the App Store that's curated by age for age-appropriate app selections for young kids. You can map your child's location using Find My Friends. You can find kids' iPhones in hand and lost iPhones with Find My iPhone. So my son, his dad and I often ping him on Find My iPhone because he doesn't always answer our text or phone calls when his phone's on silent, but Find My iPhone does work. But I'm the only one who has access to that right now. So oftentimes his dad will text me and say, can you please ping his phone? And I do. We ping his phone probably at least 3 times a week. So that's a really helpful feature for us. If you have a teen driver, Apple also offers Do Not Disturb. While the driving feature, you can lock to don't allow changes in restrictions. And there are other safety features that Apple offers, including medical ID, emergency SOS, and private controls. And like I said, you can also use Do Not Disturb that blocks calls and notifications, and Classroom that allows teachers to have access to student controls. Now, I'm not going to go over Droid, but I do give you all the links you need with the Google Family link, and they offer tips for families, and they have a Google Safety Center. So for this week, spend a little time, depending on which devices you have, looking at what their suggestions are, and then setting those parental controls. If you have any questions, feel free to email me. But remember, I'm a psychologist, not a techie person, so I don't lead you point by point. Apple or Google can do that, and they have lots of really great resources for it. So that's it for today's parental control. Next week, we're going to be talking about, what are we doing next week? Oh, well, how we set up parental controls on your internet service and phone provider. So I get all of these resources from our Screen Safety Toolkit course that's at the Get Kids Internet Safe website. So you're saving money already by not having to buy that course. You get it all free on our app. So stay tuned for our family video, and thanks for listening.